Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Martin. I'm the instructional technologist with the Center for Teaching Excellence and Innovation. And just today, we're going to be getting a little bit of an orientation on Simple Syllabus, which, as you know, is the newly adopted syllabus creation management service that Rush will be using moving forward, starting in this coming summer of 2024. Um, Thus far, we've had a really great experience with it. We had a bit of soft launch, really, of this service starting in the fall and running through this term as well. We've had over 200 courses using it, and it's been remarkable, and certainly in my experience, in essentially the ease of adoption by those who have been using it. Minimal number of technical issues. It's tended to be on the order of, oh, now we know. Um, how to make sure everybody has access to the program and so forth. So right now, 3 of the colleges that use Canvas are able to access Simple Syllabus via their Canvas courses, much like this here. And there's actually a Simple Syllabus link. One of our colleges, Rush Medical College, is not presently in Canvas, which is not a problem because Simple Syllabus, having Canvas is not a requirement for access to the service. You can access Simple Syllabus via their portal, which is at rushu-rushsimplesyllabus.com, and I'll be sure to put that in the chat. I think most everybody here today is probably nursing, so this is not necessarily an issue for y'all, but I still want to put that in there for you. You got that, and all right. That's how to access the portal. Okay, and before we get rolling too, something I want to make sure to point out at the top of the hour, or top of the half hour, as it were, is that certainly any questions you have moving forward, you're certainly welcome to ask questions during this presentation, but our instructional designers at City, as well as myself, are always available to help you with questions that you have about Simple Syllabus. And I'd say, particularly with specifics of your courses, where the instructional designers have a greater familiarity and certainly can provide really good insight and advice for you. So make sure to take advantage of that resource if need be in the future. Okay, so moving forward here. So I'm going to jump in and access Simple Syllabus via my Canvas course. All of our Canvas courses now will have Simple Syllabus in the course navigation column. And one thing you want to make sure to do is have the built-in syllabus, the Canvas syllabus, if you will, make sure that link is turned off before the start of your course, just because it would create some confusion for your students to have those 2 links in there. We will be suppressing this, but if for some reason we don't get a chance to do that before the start of the summer term, just make sure to double check that, that has been turned off. But Simple Syllabus, again, by default, will always be on in your courses. Okay, so what are the good things about Simple Syllabus? And those of you who've had a chance to use it or look at it may already have some idea, but for us, one of the #1 things about Simple Syllabus, besides it being really easy to use, is that it introduces really a campus-wide syllabus format. Certainly core information we know will always be available within the syllabus. The most up-to-date versions of that information will be in the syllabus. So you won't find yourself, for example, scrambling because maybe there was a new language introduced by your college into a particular policy, and needing to make sure you've got the right version of your syllabus that you're bringing into your course. So that kind of information is always updated and standardized. And I'll tell you exactly how that's done in just a moment. The scheduling and calendar features um, are particularly nice insofar as they synchronize with Canvas, for those of you who are Canvas users. So as you create assignments in your courses, those assignments are going to appear inside of your Simple Syllabus as well. So your students have that location to be able to see that information. As you update those assignments, for example, those dates, that will be updated within Simple Syllabus. Now, what I understand as well is with the Simple Syllabus folks are working on synchronizing with your course calendar as well. So as you create events within your course calendar, those will also appear within your syllabus. That feature is not present as yet, but again, they've assured me it's coming along here. Um, obviously working within Simple Syllabus, as you'll see in a moment, editing, making changes to it, it's a very familiar, rich text editor box. It's the kind of thing we see everywhere from email to when we're editing our Canvas pages. Very similar interface. And file management, being able to see in a moment, being able to include information such as required text and so on, very easy to place into your syllabus. And then last but not least is being able to share and publish your syllabus. Your students, again, as you'll see in a moment, are able to access your syllabi via your course. They can also go to the library, the syllabus library for Simple Syllabus, and they can very easily even access a link that will show them all the syllabi that are available for them, not just those in your course, but all the syllabi, including prior courses. Okay, so we've already seen logging in via the portal, or excuse me, via Canvas, and I've also mentioned being able to use the portal as well. But I'm gonna jump back over to Canvas, and I think most of us are Canvas users here. So as an instructor, when I click on the Simple Syllabus link for my course, it'll bring me this view of Simple Syllabus. And this is also quite similar to what your students will see. This is the read-only view, if you will. But you see this feature over here, which I think is great, is a table of contents for your syllabus. So if you have a very long syllabus, as most of us do, students can use this to be able to jump to specific portions of the syllabus rather than having to scroll through and so on, or even if they've got a hard copy, make sure that the pertinent areas are dog-eared or marked properly. So this, I think, is going to, it does assist students in being able to make better use of your syllabus and more conveniently. So the syncing the course calendar with Simple Syllabus, that is definitely, I don't know. There was a question about the course calendar. I don't know that that will be available for the summer as yet. That's why I almost regret even mentioning it, because I don't want to uh, um, create the false impression that it is going to be available for the summer. I don't as yet know the delivery date for that, unfortunately. Okay, so being able to quickly jump through, much like in Canvas, the course summary is at the end there, and assignments for the course are available there. Course AI policies, students can jump to that as well, but we're going to get to that in just one moment. Okay, so let's kind of move into what the experience is like for you editing your Simple Syllabus. So again, we've clicked on that link. We've got this view of Simple Syllabus, and we'll go ahead and click on Edit Syllabus. And now we're within the Edit view of Simple Syllabus within Canvas. Now, you may actually want to edit this from within the portal, which is easy enough to do. You simply go to View Your Simple Dashboard, which gives you some other information as well, which we will get to. Great. And of course, View the Finished Syllabus is essentially a preview of the syllabus. So one of the ways that Simple Syllabus works is it's essentially like a hierarchy of templates. So there is a university template, and that university template is what contains that sort of core information. The masthead here, a placeholder for your course name and number, things like that. Name of this university statement, credit hours for the course, information where the course director or course instructor's information would go. There's these sort of standard elements which are located in all syllabi. Now, I mentioned a hierarchy because from there, individual colleges can also uh, insert their own standard information that would apply to all courses within that given college. Some of you may have already had experience in making modifications or considering elements that you'd want to add into the syllabi for sections within your courses within your college. And then we can actually go even more granular and do that at the program level as well. So all courses within audiology would have specific information that be included there. So again, think of it as layers sort of overlaying that allow that to happen. And then finally, last but not least, at the uh, course level, a template can be created as well. So courses in which there are multiple sections, for example, can have what's called a course lead document. And that document can contain all the information that the respective sections of that course need to contain. So again, it's a nice way of being able to synchronize all that information down to the ultimately end user level. Okay. So information that's brought over in Simple Syllabus, course descriptions are brought over from Colleague. Colleague is really our source of truth almost entirely for Simple Syllabus. So course credit hours, of course you can see I manually entered this in myself, but that information is there. We initially played with being able to bring location, meeting day and time in from Colleague, which it can do, but in practice we found that there's enough instances in which that information may change or need to be modified that we felt it would be better just to go ahead and leave that as something that the individual instructor can make those changes to instead. Course coordinator and course directors, that information is also brought in uh, initially from Colleague. Now you do have the ability as an instructor to go in and add additional individuals if they are not already being pulled in from Colleague. But generally speaking, in what I've seen thus far, that's really what happens is typically it's brought in from Colleague almost exclusively. Course description. Now my sample course is not actually being pulled from Colleague, so unfortunately I'm not able to show you an example of course description, but be aware that your course description information would be getting pulled over from Colleague. Course objectives are something that you are able to enter yourself. Prerequisites and co-requisites. It's really important to point out to this, and many of you may be aware of this already, is that this is pulled in from Colleague and represents information that's gone through committee and it's part of the bulletin. This is something that instructors are not able to modify at the course or the section level. That is information that has to, again, as you know, go through review before it could be even made available within Colleague to then be presented into courses. All right. So here's the first one I think of as kind of the fun part of of uh, of Simple Syllabus, and this is being able to add in information about text. So let's say I want to add some new material in for my required materials. I'll go ahead and click on that. And let's see, I'll do a search here. And what am I thinking about today? I'm thinking about gardening. All right. And I have a myriad of text to choose from here, and I'll go to the Illinois and Indiana month-by-month gardening. Excellent. So now it's gone ahead, it's brought in the text I'm looking for, the author information, ISBN, and a handy image as well for that book, which is pretty nice. I'll hit save. And now that's included in my course. I could move that up in the list of text as I wanted to. And certainly with any one of these, I could remove these. Something I neglected to point out right at the beginning here is that, and again, you may be aware of this already, one of the real big advantages of Simple Syllabus is as you make changes to when your syllabus is complete, the next time this course is offered, your syllabus will be available for you, ready for you to make updates in subsequent sections of your course. Which again, to me is fantastic. It's not a case of copying and pasting or searching through your file folders on your computer, if that's the case, to find that PDF that, oh no, now I have to switch it back to being a Word document so I can make edits. Your syllabus is always going to be available for you. Another aspect of when I mentioned syllabus always being available for you is that you may find, for example, that especially at this beginning, where you're actually building your syllabi for the first time in Simple Syllabus, is you may find that you've got courses in which there's a lot of similarity between the syllabi. And rather than having to go through and complete one and then go back and repeat that effort, it is absolutely possible to, within simple syllabus, for you to perhaps complete one. And then when you go to start working on your subsequent new syllabus, you can simply select replace with a different syllabus. And then you can go ahead and use the search function to locate the syllabus that perhaps you've just finished building up for your other course, import that into this new section that you're working on, and then make the necessary changes in this new copy you've made. Again, to me, it seems like that saves a lot of work, and also make sure that there's where things need to be similar and identical, they can be. So I want to be sure to point that out to you as well. Any questions so far, anyone? Great. All right. And now coming down here, e-reserve information. Again, this is, as I mentioned before, that just very familiar rich text editor window. And here's just an example again of information that's brought in from the university level template. Summary of evaluation methods for students. And what I want to come down here and talk to you about specifically is, incidentally, the term we use for each of these sections is called a component. So you might hear me reference that sometimes, or when you're talking to an instructional designer, they may refer to these as components, each one of these entries. Okay, is interaction expectations. You can see I've actually made some changes on this. I'm going to go back here and bring that back up. All right. So this particular component is a little bit unique in that it's been pre-populated with some examples of interaction expectations that you might want to present to your students. And of course, you can pick and choose from any one of these. In this case, it's a subtractive process. So you would just simply hit the garbage can adjacent to each one that you wanted to remove. And as you may have seen a moment ago, um, it's absolutely possible to recover any one of these that you delete. And that's just a matter of going, get rid of that as well. This is essentially what your students would see. Click on Show Deleted, and you can come back to any one of these and just hit the restore icon, and that'll bring it back for you to use. So let's say you inadvertently delete the one that you actually wanted. That's what you would do. Now, of course, none of these may fit what you actually want to define for your course, and it's just a matter of clicking on Add New Item, and then you can go ahead and use the language that's most appropriate for you in your course. And again, Show Deleted is how you're able to see um, the other ones that were just already removed. Okay. So within each one of these components, I think this is what I wanted to, yeah. Within each one of these components, you'll also see some toggles at the top, and they are visible and public. And what does that mean? So visible really defines whether or not your students can see any given component. So let's say there are some of these components here which are not mandatory, but have been included within the template for the university or for your college or for your program. And if they are not mandatory, then this visible option is going to be activated. If they're not, it'll be grayed out. But let's say assignment submission, picking this one out. You don't want your students to see that. You don't want to include this. You would simply click invisible. And now that particular component is not visible to your students or anyone else. Okay. Now, there's another category here, which let's say there's a component you've placed into your course, which is you really only want your students to be able to see this. Remember, the syllabi are part of a library, will become part of a library that are accessible by people outside of your course. If there's information in a component that you don't want to be visible to anyone other than those who are authorized, for example, students in your course, you would simply click on public here. That component now is visible only to your students and anyone who's authorized to actually see your syllabus. Okay. All right, I think we're good here. Oh yeah, I do want to mention the course AI policy as well. that these are, this is suggested language from the university as regards how you want to communicate your requirements for your students, what the requirements would be in your course for the use of AI. Um, this is certainly not mandatory language. If you have your own requirements that you want to uh, place in your course, you're certainly welcome to do so. This is an editable component, so you are able to make those changes yourself. I wanted to be sure to make that clear to everyone that you're not required to choose A or B, but you're certainly encouraged to have some language within your course so your students are aware of where you stand on AI use within your course and assignments. The students really are waiting for our guidance and our leadership in this regard. Okay. So anything I wanted to point out here too, I'd mentioned earlier about this synchronizing with Canvas. So we can see here, these assignments are synced with Canvas. Wonderful feature. One thing that can break the feature is if you should go into any one of these and um, it even tells you here, this cell is auto-populated via sync with your LMS, with Canvas. Editing this cell will override the sync and will prevent automatic updates for this cell. You can use the reset feature located at the top of your publisher um, to reestablish sync. Okay, so what this is essentially saying is if you realize, oh, wait a minute, I didn't want this to be due on June 6th, I want to be due on June 8th. You click on this within Simple Syllabus, you change that date, and now what will happen is this component, this assignment is not going to be syncing against Canvas. You're going to wind up with well, being out of sync. The information in your syllabus and the information with Canvas are not going to align with one another. And we've seen that occur where suddenly the due dates, for example, these are in chronological order, they're not appearing in chronological order any longer. And that's really a symptom of what's going on. So what you'll want to do is hit reset, and that will allow you to go ahead and essentially tell Simple Syllabus, I know I changed that particular piece of information. I'd like to go back and sync up with Canvas. And again, so the word to the wise on this in this respect is Simple Syllabus is syncing with Canvas for this component. So what you want to do is treat Canvas as your source of truth for these dates. Make those changes within Canvas. Yeah, this is if you, I think it's a great question. Hit reset after you change the date. Yeah, if you've changed that date, what you'll want to do is, and chances are, well, uh, hopefully that warning is going to remind you that you shouldn't be making the changes here. But if you do, and it happens, what you'll want to do is use the reset option to go ahead and, in fact, you would select course summary here, and you'd hit next, and it would reset the course summary. It would actually wipe it for a moment, and then it would go back and pull from Canvas. That would not be an immediate pull. There may be a delay, like an overnight, to have that information come back over into your course. All right. Absolutely, absolutely. So really make your changes within Canvas rather than Simple Syllabus. That's definitely what you want to come away from. Now, this is a little bit unfair. This view I'm giving you. I am an admin here, so I'm seeing this information. But what I've done here is I view your Simple Syllabus dashboard. I've jumped over here. And one of the things that the Simple Syllabus dashboard is going to contain is information about your syllabi. It's going to include information, for example, on how many of your students have actually uh, read it. It's the engagement report. So you'll see how many students have uh, gone ahead and acknowledged that they've read your syllabus in entirety, which up to this time, we've not really had that ability to have some indication that confirmation rather, that your students have gone through and read your syllabus. Um, In fact, I have to tell myself to go in. So this will be the student engagement report, for example, will give you that indication. And you can sort that by individual courses as well. But again, I'm an admin, so I'm seeing a much more aggregated view than you would normally see. So the syllabus library, as I mentioned earlier, this is where syllabi are visible. So any syllabi that are published can be seen from this location. And particularly for uh, a number of times since I've been here, which has been a little over a year, we've had instances where people are wanting to collect all the syllabi for a given program. And this now makes it possible for administrators in particular to be able to gather that information consistently. Again, it's not a matter of hoping that people have stored them all in their Canvas course or sitting on their hard drive, or maybe there's been a repository that departments have maintained. This is now all being maintained within the Simple Syllabus library. Okay. Now I want to give us a couple more minutes for any questions that folks might have, and my city folks, if there's anything I've not touched on, please feel free to let me know. Yes, for the purposes of, thank you very much. Someone's asking about accommodations. Absolutely. So one of the options within Simple Syllabus is being able to, as a student, students can see the syllabus and print it out. It's available as a PDF. And let's see if I can go ahead and do that view as a student. All right. And the students can absolutely print out their syllabi from here. You as an instructor can also provide your students with a link to Simple Syllabus that they can actually print out as a PDF. As mentioned, students can see the view of their syllabi. You can see right here, there's the print option for the syllabus. There's a PDF, and students can print or download the syllabus from here as well. Can you only print from the student view? No, you can, anytime you can actually see the syllabus, you can print it. I was just giving an example of how your students, for example, if they needed to print out a copy, this is how they would access it via the student view. But you can always provide that link for your students as well. And again, through the Simple Syllabus portal, which students have access to as well, through that library, your students can always locate their course syllabus here and print from that location as well. So there's a few different ways that the students can get to the option to print it out or save it as a PDF if they wish. It's a great question. Everyone, thank you so much for coming out for this. I always end up learning more even after a year about Simple Syllabus every time we do these orientations, and it's really great to get your questions back as well. Certainly, if you have any questions now or in the future, you can contact either cityhelp@rush.edu or city@rush.edu. Thank you so much and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.